It's alive! It's alive! See? I fucked up and did 8, so yeah, there you go. All right. Anyway, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Superjaz, and I'm here with my co-host.
Hey, it's me, this blindly magnificent, big ugly himself, Omari, feogrande on YouTube. Pete, according to this show. How you doing?
Oh yeah, that's just an old nickname. I've been knowing you since before double digits. So yeah,
I'm aware.
I ain't stopped calling you Pete by now. I'm not gonna.
I didn't correct you anytime.
Right?
So
no, I know. That's what I'm saying. We'll be 80, 90 years old. Talk about, man, we lived a good life, didn't we, Pete?
Yeah, I think so.
And then you'll be like, great granddad Omari, why does he keep calling you Pete?
Yeah, what?
Okay, anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode whatever we want, whatever number this is, because I'm having trouble uploading the first one by this time, but that's beside the point. I think it's the 5th. Yeah, it should be the 5th.
Yeah, well, because we didn't have enough with 3. 3 ain't enough. We needed 5. So there you go.
That is a reference to something I didn't get.
Wrestling. There's this individual of color who used to do a thing when he beat people. He'd hold them down and like make the ref count to 5 instead of 3. At least he did when he was NXT. But when he came up to, he went for a 5-out. But when he came up to the main roster, they kept the music with the 5 reference, but they didn't give him that gimmick, and they just made him like.
If you don't
Dolph
just
Ziggler's,
say the name,
would you? They made him like Dolph Ziggler's bodyguard or whatever, and then next thing you know, he's a pastor preaching type shit with other black people. Then they start talking about unicorn shit, and now he's back on his own again. Doesn't have the 5 gimmick, but he's got rap music. Yeah, Big E.
Big E used to do that.
Big E Langston. Back when he was Big E Langston.
Oh, I think I remember that was a fucking obscure ass fucking cut on some like old wrestling. Not old wrestling, but old for the wrestling. I forgot the 5 count shit. Did I even know that?
Well, that was his NXT gimmick.
Anyway. So this particular episode I called as like not emergency, but emergency-esque. Because I had something I wanted to talk about while it was still fresh in my mind. We didn't plan to film today per se, but I texted Pete and my brother earlier because, the 3 of us, best friend, brother circle. So we got a group chat and whatnot. I texted them earlier today while I was at the job off of an incident that occurred at my particular place of business. And excuse me while I compose myself to tell this shit.
Go right ahead, buddy.
Okay. Before I tell the story, why don't you go ahead and tell the people what your initial reaction was upon reading said text?
Wow. As was Ibn's, if I remember correctly.
As was Big Bro, right? Big Bro, you saw in the second video, second podcast episode. So anyway, what happened today? So I'm at the shop, the place where I work, making the sandwiches and whatnot. I get to the shop at 8 in the morning because we open at 9. So you get there an hour to turn everything on, set everything up, put all the knives, utensils out, whatnot, get everything ready, unlock this and that. All right, cool. So business as usual, business going cool. Other coworker. So then I get in at 8. We open at 9. The other coworker, he comes in 10:15ish, and then at 11, 2 more people come in as business starts to pick up, and then we all stay till about 4. So that way, it's like 4 people to be able to handle the busyness. And
sounds about right.
Spring is starting to break, so we're really getting busy right now. So but that's just how it is, period. So I'm in there 8, 9 o'clock, we open up, making the sandwiches, doing the do, answering the calls, this and that. Dude comes in, my coworker, comes in at around 10:05-ish, whatever time it was. Okay, cool. Starts helping me out and everything. let's say 10:20, this guy comes in, and pretty much everywhere in the country right now, except a few select spots, everybody's just we got a mask mandate. You got to wear face masks, right?
Yeah.
So we have to wear face masks, and we have to be sticklers as fuck about people if they come in the shop and don't wear the mask. One, because the city said so. Two, because the owner said so.
And three, you're working with food.
Yeah, exactly. So but the whole thing is if we don't say it, then we can get in trouble. First off, if we take all the other factors out, if we don't say it to people, we gotta be just because if we don't say it to people, we can get in trouble about it. So the second people walk in the door without a mask, we have to be like the second you walk in, if we notice it, hey, do you have a mask, sir? Okay, well, I gotta ask you to leave if you don't have a mask. I'm sorry. You want to place an order? Okay, well, you can actually call it from outside, and then we can pick the phone up, and then we'll just bring it out to you. Or we'll just write your name on the bag while you wait, and you can just run in, get it, and then go. You got to do that.
There's workarounds. Yeah, hey,
that's just
similar feel to you with work, similar situations. Right. I got you there on that one.
Yeah. So dude walks in, and he looked like he was a little homeless. He wasn't just straight up just everything tattered, but he looked like he was a little homeless. If he wasn't homeless, something was wrong, right? Not all mentally there but I mean, mentally there enough to be able to have a conversation, wasn't walking funny, nothing like that, limping maybe a little bit. Walks in, no mask on. Second he walks in, coworker's like, hey man, you got a mask? If you don't got a mask, man, you can't be here right now, I'm sorry. And then he's kind of standing around for a second, like approach the counter. He's like, I'm sorry, man, you gotta have a mask. It's like, okay, well, can I use the bathroom? So he's like, nobody else is in there anyway. We finished up. Okay, man, you can go use the bathroom. Whatever, you use the restroom. Dude is in the restroom for what had to be, it felt like 25, 30 minutes. It felt like at least 20, but it felt like about 25, 30 minutes. So we start getting hit, like getting a rush. And it's just two of us because other people didn't come yet. Because again, all this happened before 11 a.m. So
first thing in the morning.
That's why I'm like, this is starting my fucking day. Mm-hmm. So we in there and we're working. And we're like, Dan, that dude been in there a while. I think I might have been the first to say it, but I don't know who said it first. But we're like, yeah, Dan. And we started thinking, yeah, he has been in there. So we working, getting through the little rush we got, the pop we got, and we're like, dang, we gonna have to eventually say something to this dude if he don't see himself out because of the way everything happened. You get a read on people, and then we're like, we're gonna have to say something to this dude because you can't just be in there,
No, I agree.
Yeah, so we finally get to a point where we got a good enough space. Coworker goes, knocks on the door. Hey, you've been in there a while. And he said the dude goes, he's like, hey man, make sure everything okay in there. You've been in there a while. He said the dude goes, yeah, I know. What?
Yeah, I know.
So then he finishes up, like, very shortly after dude knocks on the door. He finishes up. He walks out. His hands were dripping. Little did we know that would come into play. He says, "Can I get a cup of water? Because we have a chip stand, and then we have a soda machine, like fountain drink machine.
Gotcha.
And it's no self-service and no free refills. So if you want to get chips or you want to get soda, we can give it to you, but you just can't get it yourself. And with the soda, no refills." So he says, "Can I get a cup of water?" After he walks out the bathroom, and we're like, "Yeah, we'll get you a cup of water, but wait outside and we'll bring it out to you real quick." Dude was like, no, you know what? Never mind. Just forget about it. I don't need it. Don't worry about it. Dude walks out, leaves. I had to take a shit, and I had actually been holding the shit because I didn't want to leave my coworker assed out since there was two of us.
Yeah.
And then dude went in the bathroom for a minute anyway. So after it's all said and done, I'm like, all right, I really got to take a shit, man, especially since we got a load. All right, Jazz, yeah, go take a shit. All right, cool. I walk to the bathroom, open the door. First off, I hear water running. Like, that's interesting. I expect to see piss on the floor or whatever. Okay, because it wouldn't be the first time I mopped up piss in the bathroom. Okay, whatever. So I expect to see piss on the floor, but I open the door, I hear water running, and I don't even remember. My coworker said first thing I said when I opened the door was, "Oh my god!" And he said the second he heard me say, "Oh my god," he knew something was wrong. And I was like, hey, come. I might have to mute his name, but I was like, come on, come, just take a look. Just come take a look at this. In the sink, first off, the toilet was empty aside from a few squares of toilet paper, first of all. In the sink was mashed in shit with the water running. In the sink was mashed in shit.
Man took a shit in your sink, tried to force it down the drain, and kept the water running. So the sink was overflowing?
That might be what happened. See, what you just said, no, it wasn't overflowing. Thank God. Oh my God. I tell him, dude, if I came in there and we had to fucking mop up shit water off of the ground.
Literal doo-doo water?
Literal doo-doo water. No, dude, no, okay. So we thought what you said actually might be it. Maybe he did take a shit in the sink and then try to push it down because he didn't, I don't know. We thought that he got mad that we didn't want him to use a face mask. I mean, that we want him to use a face mask. So we thought that he said, you know what, fuck these dudes.
That'd be even funnier if he took a shit in the toilet, reached in the toilet to grab his shit, and just shoved it in the sink. Like, how mad do you have to be to go through that extra step?
You know what's so bad?
But I figured he shat in the sink because he was mad about the whole mask thing. Either way, whatever he did was because he was mad about the mask thing.
And he used his ass as a weapon?
I'm a shitting they sink. Show them, tell me to put on a mask. This is America, okay? Red, white, and blue.
And brown, goddammit. Bruh. Just the thought of this motherfucker being so mad that now, okay, my coworker, I'm gonna have to mute his name out too. But my coworker, he could be a little short. He like short with people in conversation sometimes. He just been working there. He's a super nice dude, great customer service. Everybody at my job gets great customer service, and we get hit a lot, like rushes a lot. But dude, he's just been working the same job too long. He's been working there 5+ years, and at one point, he was working that job while working another job trying to make money to save up and pay off his student loans, right? Mm-hmm. So he just been working it too long. So all his little shit, he didn't seen too much of it. Well, literally now. But no, all this little stuff, he didn't seen too much of it, right? Yeah. So he was kind of short with it when he walked in, but it wasn't enough too bad for me. Because sometimes when he gets too much, I'll be like, all right, calm down, man. Like I'll just kind of mumble to him like, all right, man, it's not that serious. Like, I just mumble it to him and then bring him back to earth. But it wasn't anything too crazy for me to say that. But just the thought, I would never, they say never, but I can almost for certain say, I couldn't see myself getting so mad. The first thing I said when I walked in the bathroom and we realized what had happened, I was like, why couldn't he just fucking break something? If he was pissed. Like, what the fuck? You just fucking rip this fucking, like, who said?
I'll never understand the thought process of some people that do things, and I'm like, but why wouldn't you take insert other route here? Like, I worked at a place a while back, and the place, I got a call at like 2:30 in the morning from the cops saying that people broke in. And I'm like, oh shit, people done stole some stuff. Get there. Sure enough, door broken. They weren't able to get they weren't able to get any money out the cash register and nothing. Or the safe. because we put all our stuff in the safe and don't leave money in the registers because that's stupid. And people will break your registers to get it in there. We leave our registers empty and open so you can see that they're empty. So registers were untouched, and sure enough, they came in, saw that nothing was in there, and they left. And I looked at the front. We had chips out, much like yourself. We had some other stuff out. Nothing was missing at all. And I was like, y'all couldn't have taken a bag of chips.
I mean,
no. If you go break into some place, take something. Like, you don't need to go raid the fridge or anything. Get something out of the fact that you just set off an alarm and committed this crime. Take a bag of chips. Take something.
I get what you're saying, but ain't nobody gonna be like, man, can't pilfer on an empty stomach. The fuck?
It ain't about pilfer. It ain't talking about take the chips and eat them in the fucking store. It's shit. Well, didn't get money. Well, take a chip. Take a cookie. Take something.
I'm not going to.
But I guess my thing was, if you're going to make us pay all the money for all the goddamn repairs, just so you can come in and steal absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Stole not a goddamn thing, but now we gotta fucking pay thousands. Thanks.
At least
the thousands that we're paying that you didn't steal.
I'd much rather believe your ass came in to steal a bag of chips and you were that fucking desperate than believe you came in to steal nothing. Because it's funnier that way to me, that someone would go to those lengths.
I stopped myself from saying, because I was going to say, but I stopped myself from saying, I was going to say, I don't think anybody would break into a place just to steal a bag of chips. But after I done seen a motherfucker shove his shit down the drain of a fucking sink, I don't know what anybody would do when it comes to fucking petty ass means, bruh.
You also got to remember, last year was 2020. It's hard to come by money and stuff. I will never.
But I
will never put anything. I
don't care how broke you get.
I will never put anything out of the range of things homeless people will go to do stuff. I'll put it that way. And then I don't know if you heard, speaking of shit and homeless people, I don't know if you heard Marshawn Lynch's. That's not disparaging.
We're not talking about homeless people like that. We're talking about particular stories.
I'm saying desperation.
Okay, all right,
desperation leads people to do a lot of things.
We're just talking about personal stories.
I will never put anything out of the realm of possibility for someone to do. But speaking of homeless people and shit, I don't know if you heard about Marshawn Lynch's story. He was on, I think it was Pat McAfee's show. And
what? Okay.
Do you know who Marshawn Lynch is?
Marshawn Lynch is quarterback for somebody.
Running back, and he used to be a running back for the Seahawks. Not really in the NFL anymore. Beast mode, as he's also known as.
Yeah. Really, really like silly, funny dude, right?
Mm-hmm, like Skittles. Yeah. They asked him what the craziest shit was he's seen. And so he told them a story about how a restaurant he had opened, pretty much one day he went out to clean it, and someone had taken a shit in front of his store, like just right by the door. Just a pile of human shit on the ground. But there were some like homeless people in the neighborhood. He come pull them over, like, yo, did y'all do this? And one of them apparently did own up to it, like, yeah, that was me, sorry, man.
What? Somebody owned up to it?
And he's like, look, you can't be doing this stuff, but he ended up turning it around, giving the dude a job so they wouldn't be homeless anymore, and just saying apparently dude turned out to be one of his best employees. He's like, yeah, he just left right before I got on here to interview you, blah blah blah.
That's what's up, though. I mean, shit. I mean, that brings.
I'm like, I wouldn't offer nobody no job if they shot in front of my store. So he a better man than me.
I was gonna say that brings it full circle and shows that a lot of people really are super smart, great workers, all kind of like work ethic, everything. They just need opportunities.
Sometimes you're just down on your luck.
Yeah, but in this particular case, this guy is instantly
your dude shot out of spite. Other dudes shot out of being doped up / necessity.
I was gonna say this guy from the first time I've seen him, this is the last time we will see him because the second he walks in, he is instantly banned. I texted the GM what happened. She texted back, you know, in the midst of everything, she texted back a whole lot of what the fucks and what the hells and all kind of stuff. But she said, I'm going to tell the owner so we can print out a picture because he got cameras. So we can print out a picture and we're going to tape it somewhere on the door or whatever. And that, so that, because right now the only people who know what he looks like is me and the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she said, we're going to print out a picture. She asked me around what time it happened. We're going to print out a fucking pic, put that on the door somewhere to make sure this motherfucker ain't allowed in the goddamn shop ever again.
I agree. Put it up on the leg. Nah. Get him out of here. Keep him out of here. Fuck that guy.
Because that's fucking, bruh. I was gonna ask you a fucking silly ass question. I know the answer is no. Have you ever been in in any type of desperation or headspace of spite that you said you're gonna do anything with shit as a weapon?
As a weapon, hell no.
I know the answer is no.
Mm-mm. I ain't never thought to just be like so mad at somebody where I'm like, I'm gonna shit and they whatever. You know, there's the whole thing about the alleged incident way back when Randy Orton shat in someone's bag because he was mad at him. But
X-Pac's supposed to have shat in Tori Wilson bag back in the day, right?
Probably did that as well.
Some shit like that. But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, I'm saying I've heard things about people shitting in bags. I never even thought to do something like that because at the end of the day, I don't like shitting anywhere other than the toilet. Only time I did that once was when I was a kid, and you know what castor oil is?
Castor oil, yeah.
It's that nasty ass shit that old home style remedies. Oh, you sick? Here's a spoonful of castor oil.
But it's supposed to be good for your liver or something like. No, it's cod liver oil. Is good for your liver. It's good for something. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but castor oil. Worst tasting shit I ever had.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
But it also will fucking make you have the shits. And one day I got in trouble and had to stand in a corner all day. But I also was semi-sick. Well, way back when. But yeah,
at your home?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. They wouldn't give me castor oil at school. But so yeah, I had the castor oil and stuff, and then I was in trouble all day. So it got to nighttime, and I still. You had the shits for the next 24 hours. But
I was like, what did you do to stand in the corner? But that's a whole nother story.
No, I'm saying it was time for me to go to bed. And I was like, oh God, I still got to go to the bathroom. But they're still mad at me. If I go downstairs, I'm going to get in trouble. So I'm waiting for people to go to sleep, Yeah. And eventually I couldn't hold it anymore because the castor oil is that fucking strong. So I shat myself.
You literally shat the bed.
No, I tried to in a dirty clothes hamper.
Oh my, what?
Because I didn't want to shit in the bed. But like I said, I'm 5 at the time.
You said I don't want to mess up
just wash the clothes like normal, yeah.
So I'm gonna shit in the rest of the clothes. So did you get in more? You got in more trouble.
Oh, definitely. But that's the only other time I've shat anywhere other than a toilet of my own intention.
Omari, what the hell are you doing?
It was gonna happen somewhere. Either that or it's gonna end up all over the floor or something like that, and I was in trouble regardless. I was just trying to think of because I'm like, I gotta shit in something is what I was thinking.
You couldn't make it to the bathroom at all?
I would have to go downstairs, around through a kitchen, through a hallway.
Too much of a trip.
By the time like I said, I'm waiting upstairs for people to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And by the time the body's just like, this is happening.
I've been there before.
I had to run to the fucking hamper. That's how bad it was because I'm like, oh, this is coming out right now.
You look like old dude off of Van Wilder. You ever seen that scene on Van Wilder where the dude shat in the trash can?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like that.
Looking like that shit. That dude just in the middle of that office business meeting, just threw off his slacks and just right in the trash can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. I mean, I've shat myself. I've never shat myself on purpose. Obviously, that's
Well,
fucking
yeah.
insane. You know, that would be almost as crazy as shoving your turds down.
Oh, makes me so mad. I'm just shitting my pants.
What the fuck is that? What is that from?
Don't worry about it. You don't
You
need
and
to
these,
know more about it.
you
It
know
wasn't
what?
me, though. I'll say that much. But
You
it's a
and these
reference to
random
something on
ass
the
references.
internet.
But what's so funny
You
is
know, and I'm
I've
sorry
known.
that you know.
Oh, if you know, but that's funny. That's so cryptic for those of us who don't know. What I was gonna say is what's so funny is all these random references that you have. You've always had random ass references for as long as I've known you. You'll make some random little reference. You'll be like, "Well, if you pick up the daisies, then you might turn them into tulips." And he just randomly say that shit, and he'll be like, "What's that?" And then you'll say something along the lines of, "Don't worry about it." Like what?
It's one of those things where, like, because as you say, if you make references all the time, eventually you get to the point where it's like, all right, you didn't get it. I'm just gonna keep moving on.
You always
Oh,
say
I
it with
was
that. You
so
always say it
mad.
with that tone. You say it with that tone.
I was so mad last night too because I was in a group chat with my friends down here.
Mm.
Oh, what was it? There was something that happened, and I thought I was doing a fantastic reference and just like, oh, got him.
Mm.
And nobody noticed what I said. They just kept talking, and I'm just like, I was just like, come on, not on one person with, ha, I got it at least. I'm like, that was
Yeah,
perfect. There's like 7 of us in this group right now. Why did no one get the reference I'm making?
I forgot what I said. I said something earlier today. You know, after all this shit went down, um, and I said something. I made a reference to something, and it was me and 3 other people, and nobody reacted, and it wasn't funny. It was just hey, here's a thing that goes with the thing, so these are referenced.
Yeah.
And I was like, and nobody reacted. So I was thinking, oh, I was like, dang, none of y'all like know what so and so is. I don't even remember what I said. And then I was expecting somebody to at least get it and just say it was corny. And one of my coworkers, he said, he goes, no, I got it. It was just corny, so I didn't feel like reacting. It's like, oh well.
But I don't care if you think it's corny. Let me know you got the
I need,
corny
I
joke.
need,
I
I
need
need the
that
validation.
reaction. I need
Yeah.
that reaction. I do things to get a reaction out of people. I'm an entertainer.
Funny that all this is coming back around. I'm trying to steer away, but it's coming back around. Doing things to get a reaction. So okay. So speaking of which, going back to the incident. Shout out to Tanya, the incident. If you've seen that, anyway, somebody got the reference out there. Maybe they didn't. But anyway, so going back to the incident, when we did discover it, my coworker, man, dude, just straight up, he goes, yeah, all right, well, because I discovered it first, and I called him over because I didn't even want to do nothing at first, and I was gonna clean it up, but I was like, you got to see this, what the fuck? So I called him, he saw, and he goes, all right, man, we get a second, I clean it up, and I was like, dude, I can clean it up, I got to use the bathroom anyway. He's like, nah, man, don't worry about it, because he apparently at his other job, he worked at like a dine-in restaurant, and he was like, yeah, man, don't worry about it. He said he's used to cleaning up throw up and shit at his other job. So he never cleaned up actual shit, but people would throw up all the time in random places and sinks and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he got used to cleaning up stuff like that. So I was like, all right, man, if you cool. So I mean, this motherfucker cleaned it spotless. We gave him like a fresh bag of rags. He's supposed to use the rag as much as possible. These rags we used once and threw them in another bag and took them straight to the dumpster. But he wore like about probably 3 or 4 pairs of gloves, cleaned the fuck out of it, used pretty much a full bottle of bleach, at least 2/3 full bottle of bleach, and just poured it down the drain, soaked a paper towel in bleach and laid it over the drain so it would just sit on top of the drain for a second. When he was cleaning the drain, that's when he realized that this motherfucker had jammed shit in the drain because he was cleaning it, and I guess he figured it out. But yeah, he said he washed his hands after it was all said and done. He said he washed his hands for like 10 minutes straight. Just yeah. And then what was so funny was after it was all said and done, he cleaned it spotless. You would never know. But I was like, man, I don't even want to know. I'm gonna feel weird using the bathroom now because it was like I think he said something like, "Oh, I cleaned it in there, man. It smells like all bleach, and I know I cleaned this all good." And I said, "Dude, it could be cleaned to 100% spotless, disinfected, all good. It's weird because I know what happened,
Yeah.
bruh. This motherfucker walked out with his hands dripping." we were putting two and two together on some fucking like, wait a minute. If he walked out with his hands dripping and didn't have a face mask, and then the sink was running,
that dude was just. I remember a bathroom at my job broke. The toilet broke. We put a fucking out of order sign on there.
Okay.
Guy comes in, and people come in. Hey, your signs that your bathroom says out of order. Yeah, just use the other one. Like your men's bathroom's out of order. Just use the women's. Okay, use the bathroom out of order. Okay. So we're thinking everything's fine. Then one day a guy comes in, gets some food, goes to the back, use the bathroom. Eventually comes out. Hey, your toilet's not flushing in the men's bathroom. That's just because it's out of order, sir. There's a sign on the door. Oh, oops. And sure enough, took a giant ass shit in the toilet.
Oh no.
It didn't, and we couldn't flush it. Because, the pipe wasn't connected within the wall, so there was nowhere for the water to go to.
Oh, shit. There was nothing y'all could do.
Right.
That's in the wall. Oh, damn. So how did you end up fixing that one?
Eventually.
No, but I mean, the whole incident. Did y'all have to leave the shit in there until you fixed the pipe and then just hit the flush, or did somebody have to fish
shit ton of bleach? I poured a bottle of bleach into that, and yeah, pretty much.
Did you have to fish the shit out the toilet?
I didn't. Eventually, the problem was taken care of. I don't remember all the details, but eventually the problem was taken care of.
The door wasn't locked?
We didn't really have a way to lock it from outside. No, we ended up having to take a table, flip it upside down, and put it in front of the door to make sure people couldn't get into the door because people are stupid and can't read.
That makes sense, though. It can't lock from the outside. Now that I think about it, because most bathrooms you don't do that. Yeah. I think we might have a restroom key, but I never paid attention. But yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, we had a way to unlock it from the outside, but not lock it from the outside.
Because why? When would you ever need to? For the most part,
lock somebody in the bathroom.
I was just about to say lock somebody out, or even more so in the fucking bathroom.
The only times you got shit like that is gas stations and shit, where they're just yeah, no one can use our bathroom unless you buy something and get this key from us.
Not with you looking like a goddamn fucking ogre or some shit under a bridge. You can use the bathroom if you answer me these questions 3.
You can pee if you answer me these questions 3. Otherwise you will die.
Otherwise you will die. Goddamn, you gonna I know it rhymed, but why I gotta die? If I don't piss, I'm dead. If I don't piss,
yeah, no. It's a bodily function.
Forever, yeah.
That's why you can't hold those kind of contests anymore.
Oh, yeah. How long can you hold your piss?
Yeah, because some radio contest was hold your wee for a wee. Who can hold their piss longer? Yeah,
this.
Back when the wee came out, I was
I think I heard this from your ass.
Yeah, who can hold their piss longer? Drinking gallons of water, and then someone just pretty much straight up died.
Somebody died.
Yeah.
What was it? It was just what was it? Drink so much water every so much time or something?
You were forced to keep drinking pretty much every period. I don't remember the exact details, but I believe that was the gist of it, yeah. Pretty much you had 2 or more people, and every instance, every interval here, drink more water, drink more water, drink more water. Eventually, one of y'all is going to have to crack and go, but they really wanted that Nintendo Wii, so...
That motherfucker... Oh, this is such an inappropriate joke. That motherfucker said... I'm either gonna get that weed or I'm gonna die trying. That's such a fucked up joke. I feel so bad for making that joke.
Get pissed or die trying. Hold piss or die trying.
That's worse
Hold
than
piss
mine.
or die trying.
Yo, I felt bad, and then you wow. This whole podcast is going to hell. If hell exists, this whole podcast is going. We are all going.
Sorry, I was trying to think of a way to make it rhyme with the 50 Cent movie since you brought it up.
No, it worked. It worked. But I'm just saying, like, the podcast didn't even go on the purgatory and the judgment day. It's going straight to hell.
Be like that sometimes.
That's all you got to say about that?
It really be like that sometimes.
Is that a reference to something?
This
motherfucker with these references.
Yes. There was a video
the fuck?
way back. I didn't expect you to get that one. Or I don't expect a lot of people to get it. It's just when I said it, I was referencing it more just because, haha, it reminded me of it. But there's a video a while back of like Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. This guy here with the hair, for people who don't know. He's like, this guy here with the hair. They all have hair. Anyway. It's
the one you were pointing to.
Yeah, it's him and Dragon Ball Fighters standing there, and someone like dubbed over whatever he was saying, but it literally was just him putting his sword away, and he's just like, it really be like that sometimes. And then powers up to go Super Saiyan, and I'm like, I don't know why. I thought that was funny. But I guess because it sounded so much like it was actually his voice actor just saying shit like it really be like that sometimes.
Why do they randomly have him say that?
I don't know, people for the same reason there's a video where they got like Frieza going, bro, niggas be wildin'. And that's it. I saw it was like I saw a video the other day. It's like Frieza says niggas be wildin'. And I'm like, what is this? Click and you just see him go, right. Niggas be wildin', and I'm like, why does it sound like I'm saying?
After we finish recording, you gotta show me that because that sounds motherfucking hilarious. And because of the fact that we've been watching Dragon Ball Super and all the DBZ movies, also not unshameless plug or shameless plug. Shameless plug is the right way. Shameless plug. Go check it out on feogrande, FEOGRANDE. That is Omari Pete's channel. Go check it out over there where he has a lot of other content. But one of the things that we're doing is reviewing every Dragon Ball Z movie. Mm-hmm. And then after that, we've been watching and reviewing the sagas of Dragon Ball Super after. So what I was going to say was I need to see this video because, But I need to see this video because especially after I just have been, reminded of Frieza's voice and likeness and face because we're watching these episodes and everything over and over again. I really need to see it because it's fresh in your boy brain. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? This be wild. You should have did it like Goku goes Super Saiyan. Yeah, niggas be wild.
Niggas be wild. I'm like, what? I'm like, and the title was like Frieza says that line, and then if I click it, and I'm like, well, I don't know what I was expecting when I clicked on this video. It literally just says what happens, which always cracks me up on YouTube when people do that. They put like so and so says this, and you click it, and they say it or they do it. It's like cat falls out of bed. Click it.
It's a 5-second video of a cat falling out of a bed.
Well, I don't know what I was expecting, but
I cannot call this uploader a liar. That's one thing I can't do.
I see no lies.
Girl gets slapped with fish, and then such a 5-second video of just a girl getting slapped with a fucking bass, and then it might be somebody saying, "Don't slap me with pow," and then that's it. What the fuck?
Oh man, you should get a stuffed bat. Find a chick named Jasmine and be like, have a video, Jazz slaps Jazz with a bass.
That's so dumb. Why would I have a stuffed bass, first of all?
Well, because, you can't hit women and all that stuff, but at least if it's stuffed, it's clearly just for the gag.
What about the amount of people who are going to read it wrong and say Jazz slaps Jazz with a bass?
Well, they're stupid.
Why do we Why does the English language
I could
butcher
take it
words?
a step further, but then that probably goes into like misogyny thing. If I go jazz slaps jazz on the ass with a bat.
Oh, that's not that bad. If we're both consenting adults and she was okay with the ass bass slapping, then okay.
But just like,
now, I have a friend named Jasmine.
I just want the top comment to be like, how crass.
and then instead of saying first after they finish commenting, the last person finally says last.
See, I was trying to think of a way to incorporate last, LASS.
Yeah, I know. I did last.
Jazz,
if you say it without the T, you.
Jazz slaps jazz the last on the ass with a bass.
Just keep going, Pete. Go ahead.
Right after mass.
Right after we just came from church. We came from church. What the fuck? What is this?
After mass, jazz slaps jazz the last on the ass with a bass. How crap.
You are cracking yourself. You are cracking yourself up right now. This motherfucker is really cracking himself up right now. Did I do it because she gave me some sass?
Yeah, well, she was high off the grass, so you know.
Now we've already talked about how we don't really discuss race too much, but that was the whitest shit. High off the grass. Now smoke this grass here with me, guys.
Oh yes, because saying "lass" isn't in and of itself white.
I mean, it's not American white though. It's just straight Irish, and that's just we know that's white.
Well, Irish, British Islands, that kind of ideal.
The point I was trying to make got muddled in them last few sentences, and I sounded ignorant as fuck. I apologize. If you understand what I was trying to say, there you go. If you don't, I sounded like an ignorant son of a bitch. Forgive me.
Because I haven't been going with this whole you should slap a chick named Jasmine on the ass with a bass after bass.
Oh man.
Why did that even come up? Oh, we were just talking about transparent YouTube titles.
Videos. And then you just randomly said, oh, if you had a girl named Jasmine, it could be jazz slaps jazz on the ass with a bass. A stuffed bass.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to get a real fish, that's on you. But, I mean, as long as it looks like a fucking bass, that's all that really matters. That was a salmon. Shut up, motherfucker. Salmon don't rhyme.
Bass slaps jazz on the ass with a flounder. A flounder is small, too, so that wouldn't even really work.
Oh, my God. But that would also be hilarious.
Where this podcast
that would also be hilarious for no other reason than the misdirection. People would just be mad that you didn't rhyme it with bass. Or with ass, you know what I mean? Ass with a tilapia. Wait, what?
After mass with some sass, jazz slaps jazz, the last on the ass with a swordfish. Like, the fuck? Like, you know, I mean, I slap on the ass with the swordfish, and then she says, I guess I get the point. What the fuck? Bruh, you okay? You been smoking some grass?
I have not. No.
Hey, I mean, if I didn't know any better, the way you're acting, this looks like somebody shoved shit in your sink.
I wouldn't know how to act. You tell me I would act when that happens, Jazz.
That's gonna be a new expression. Somebody start tripping.
Who put shit in your sink? Who shat in your sink?
Wait a minute. Oh my God. No. Oh man, when I go back to just review this and edit it before uploading, I am probably going to be laughing my fucking ass off. This whole podcast, this whole episode has just been off the goddamn rails. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Go try to compose myself like a director of a symphony orchestra of clones. Get it? Compose myself like a director of a symphony orchestra of clones. Because I'm okay. Anyway.
Why clones?
Because I'm composing myself. Damn, now that's when the joke is really bad. If
I'm like, director of a symphony.
You think it's laid out?
Yeah, like you're composing yourself like a director of a symphony. I'm like, all right, of clones, but why of clones? Oh wait, when you said that, I'm like, oh, I probably.
But I'm saying that's when you know it's bad. They say a joke is bad when you got to explain it, but a joke is even worse when not only did I have to explain it, but I think that it's perfectly laid the fuck out, and then you're just like, but why have clones?
Well, I could also just be stupid.
I mean,
which is kind of how I felt when you said that. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, so
why didn't I think of that?
I guess that shows just how good of friends we are, because I'm downplaying my intelligence and you're downplaying yours. So should we apologize to? Should we apologize to the listener that they got listened to a podcast? And
no, it's too late for
that. You knew what you signed up for.
It's too late to apologize.
It's too late.
I still don't remember what dude did that song.
One Republic.
Oh yeah, that guy.
We talked about that on a previous episode.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about Jabberwockies. That was the one where you went off the rails because you were starting to think about how just like how dude with the grass made your ass feel that day. Yeah. But anyway, before we open that can of worms, because I don't want to open that can of worms. the episode where I was like, we have to end the episode, and then you were like, oh, did it really end? Or are you just trying to end this conversation?
I'm just trying to remember. Oh, dude with the grass. Yeah. I'm like, what dude with the grass? And
oh my god. It's just the second time I made a fucking like reference. Thinking you would Pete, that's a callback, bruh.
Don't call it a callback. I've been here for years. Now,
rocking my peers, putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom, explosion. Overpowering. Over the competition, I'm towering. I don't know the rest. I'm gonna knock you out.
Bitch.
Mama said knock you out.
Bitch.
I'm gonna knock you out.
Ho.
Mama said knock you out.
Thought. Slut.
What is it? What is it? You know, LL Cool J said that he got the inspiration from that song, at least like the lyrics and everything, because he said something like his grandma actually told him to, talking about the competition, like get in there and knock him out, baby, or some shit like that. And then that's where he got the inspiration.
That's awesome.
That's funny. What was I gonna say? What is your favorite LL Cool J song? Now I'm putting you on the spot. I know you probably don't even really have one. That's such a random ass question.
Sorry. Well, Mama
Jesus
said
Christ,
knock you out as one of them. Definitely. Oh no! See, the problem is when I think of LL Cool J songs, like my mind goes blank, and I think of one that I know is not my favorite, but it's the first thing that popped in my head. That's the fucking I Need Love song outside of Mama Said Knock You Out.
Oh,
I Need Love.
When I'm alone in my room.
When I'm alone in my room,
the wall, back in my mind.
Conscious.
Go ahead. You don't know the rest?
It's there at the wall in the back of my conscious.
I don't know.
I don't know the whole song either. I remember not liking the song and then being like, okay, this song was all right as I got older. But
that was one of his. That was one of his first. One of his first songs for like the ladies. One of his first big songs to get big for the ladies and shit.
Yeah, when I was younger,
I did a song. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, when I was younger, I was a lot more opposed to like the random love song type things, or a lot of the lovey-dovey stuff. And I remember, you would remember back when I used to like parody songs, and I just pretty much replace stuff involving love and having love and being in love with killing people,
with death and doves and shit.
There was a lot of the time, instead of making loves, it was killing doves.
You had a huge infatuation with killing doves.
Well, because because dove rhymes with love, so it was easy to rhyme, and then I, kill him. I don't know.
Well, is it because doves represented something so like innocent and pure and like perfect or something?
No, I just really.
Or the irony of killing a dove.
When I was younger, I always liked talking about. Well, we talked about earlier to keep things kind of with a full circle and keep a kind of a theme going on, getting a reaction out of people. And one of the things that always worked with that was talking about like death and violence and other stuff like that. Also, watching violent stuff on TV was always fun and stuff. Whatever. Because I'm an American. Americans like violence. Red, white, and blue. But no. But that with the killing of doves was just like, okay, change the song to something that's about killing and shit, but I need the words to rhyme so we know what song I'm doing. Dove rhymes with love, and you can kill a dove. So it just worked. The two things worked. But there was a lot of things like, also I just, for whatever reason, found the phrase is funny, like killing and dying, all that stuff. Especially when I liked the way people looked at me, like at school, when I would mention those things and laugh. The reaction. So that got to a point, and I remember like trying to find out how to say die, in Spanish was one of the first words I found aside from ugly, because I was like, I need to do this. I got a reputation to maintain. Morir, by the way, means to die. But
say it again.
Morir.
Oh, okay.
Morir. And speaking of morir, whatever, there was this game called Crackdown. It was kind of like an open world game, but you play as cops taking down gangs and stuff, or whatever.
I heard of it. I saw a preview for it.
Yeah, it was way back on the Xbox or whatever. Crackdown and Crackdown 2. Crackdown 3 came out, didn't get around to playing it. Apparently, it was trash anyway. So, but one of the gangs in one of the games was called Los Muertos, the Dead, or whatever. But or maybe they weren't. Maybe Los Muertos was another game, but there was a Spanish gang, and when you're like assaulting one of their bases, they had like 3 or 4 audio clips that they always play, and one of them was like "Hora de matar," like time to kill, and another one there was "Hora de matar," and then another guy is like "Hora de morir," time to die, or something like that, or "Te voy a matar," or I'm going to kill you, whatever. So it was just like, that shit I just thought was funny, because it's Hispanic. Spanish is a fun language and a funny language to hear.
Yeah.
And then you see.
So
stuff like
basically, based on what you're saying, you learned how to say die, and you also learned how to say ugly.
Oh, those were two of the first words I tried to learn, aside from hello and shit. When I don't know Spanish now, Espanol wa hanemasen. I don't speak Spanish, so.
But I was gonna say, so one of the first sentences you learned how to.
That that's one of the things I do to piss off my friend Ed, who speaks Spanish and Japanese. Is I'll mix them every once in a while, like I did just then.
Oh, that's funny.
He's like, "Stop that! I hate you." Anyway,
if he understands it though, so that's an intelligent dude. But no, what I was gonna say was so basically one of the first sentences you learned how to say was "Hola, morir feo." Hello, die ugly.
No, like soy feo.
That's fucked up.
Hola, soy feo. I'm ugly. Because I had these things that I tried to get out there as a reputation and stuff. Because it's one of those things where when you're younger or throughout life, it's easier to be laughed at if you can learn to laugh at yourself. That's my advice to like anybody out there. Now, I don't mean hate yourself or anything like that, but you have to learn to laugh at yourself to get others to laugh with you. And let's say, because I was bullied at a point, numerous points when I was younger, and I'm not going to say it doesn't have any effect on one's self-esteem. It's affected my self-esteem for like my whole life. But there was a point where it kind of flipped in me the switch to, rather than have people constantly laughing at me and me feeling bad about it, which still happened, but not to nearly as much an extent, if I could put the jokes into them or tell them what to, say, as long as what they were saying was the shit I was trying to get them to say or joke around with anyway, as long as I included myself within the joke, it was a better experience for everybody. And so when you get to a point to where I'm like, okay, if they gonna laugh at me for being weird or do this stuff, I'm gonna find some stuff to be weird about that I can also laugh about and stuff like that. And with the whole feogrande, it's the YouTube channel, Big Ugly for people who don't know. If you didn't hear me at the start when I introduced myself, I said I am the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis. So the Big Ugly thing's been around for a while. But that whole thing started because I remember trying to be, like I said, being made fun of, eventually trying to pull people in. I was like, oh, if I'm ugly, oh, I'm ugly, oh, I'm laughing with you guys, blah, blah, blah. And then I changed middle schools in 7th grade. And I was like, I'm going to school. Nobody knows me. Nobody knows me at all. I'm going to go complete different. 180. I set the narrative entirely now. So my representation. So rather than going here, I'm ugly, I'm this. Because it got to a point where I'm on the school bus singing along, making up like stuff from like, Backstreet's Back instead of going, everybody rock your body. Is everybody am I ugly? That kind of stuff. I remember
you parodying that. Wow.
So there was stuff like that. But I'm like, new school, I ain't ugly. Sexy now. Fucking confidence. Chicks dig confidence, right? Be confident. You tell people something, they gonna believe you. So, I'm big sexy. So, I'm trying to do this stuff and stuff. And I kept getting girls there, Nah, come on. Now, hindsight being 50-50 as it is, they could have just been flirting shit like that with me not realizing it, because I am woohoo when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I'm with
you. So, but them going, no, you ain't, no, you ain't, no, you ain't, because they probably just tried to bust my chops because they don't, you got to keep people somewhat humble. So I took it way too much because I watched too much TV as a kid. So, at home at night, ugly's what they want. Ugly's what they'll get. I'll show them. And so I took it a complete 180 on the ugly thing. I'm like, fine, I'm ugly. I'm big ugly now. And I had this thing where I came up with called Ugly Power, where I'm like, ugly people.
I remember that.
Yeah. Ugly Power was my philosophy that a lot of the top people in the world, or the people with the most power, are ugly as all shit. So they harnessed their ugliness. And even if they weren't ugly on the outside, they were bad people. They were ugly on the inside, or they had something wrong. Nobody was perfect is eventually what I got around to it. You harness your imperfections and then build upon that, to make yourself the best version of possible is what Ugly Power eventually became. But at first it was just a catchphrase, and it got me attention because, like I said, I was an attention whore. So I got to the point where I'd be writing it on a piece of notebook paper in class, just write Ugly Power as big as I can. Teacher turned her back. I'm just holding it up in the class. One of my best friends says that's his earliest memory of me is being that kid with the Ugly Power sign in the background of the class.
That is some attention horse shit.
Another friend of mine, his earliest memory of me before he even knew what my name was, and it really made me happy when he told me this. Freshman year of high school, or sophomore year of high school, freshman and sophomore year of high school, I had this habit. Whenever I'm riding the bus on the way home, whenever people get dropped off, I'd put my face up against the window and just make random faces like to try and get reactions out of people. And barely got anybody to notice, but I did it every day, regardless, just to see what would happen. And then years later, my boy tells me, like, yeah, I still remember back when I would get dropped off on the bus, and then I would turn around, and there you were, just making faces out the window. Like, oh, you noticed? Yeah, I actually kind of look forward to seeing it. And everything. Like, see, what kind of face you would make? And I'm like, I don't think you realize how happy you make me.
And you grew up to be an actor? What? No.
Well, by then I had already decided to be an actor, but yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so bottom line is, if people are making fun of you, first off, if they don't think you're worth their time, they ain't worth yours. Second, if you want people to have a narrative about you, you can decide what that narrative is. And it's easier to be laughed with than laughed at. So laugh.
And what I used to do a lot of times back then, because I used to get made fun of. It's so crazy how everybody, especially everybody in the arts, go figure, right? Everybody in the arts or who pursued some level of artistry decided, or they used to get, picked on and bullied to an extent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, when I used to get bullied and whatnot, I had the philosophy that I would joan on myself because at first it really fucking bothered me. But when I got over that hump where it stopped bothering me as much, but people were still trying to mess with me, then when it didn't bother me, because at first it really did, but when I got to that point where it didn't bother me anymore, or not anymore, but as much as it used to, I would make fun of myself better than they could make fun of me, and then make fun of them for not being able to make fun of me as good as I could make fun of myself. So they would say something. They would say something about because I always had big lips. They say something about you got big lips, and then I'd be like, "Oh, really? Yeah, my lips are this. And they'd be like, and they kind of look at me like, "What?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, how come my insult is better than yours?" Or some shit like that. And then I remember one time somebody was said something about me, and then I made like some joke on myself, and then I still remember to this day he said, "Yeah, it don't really work if you join in," or something along them lines.
Exactly. You take their power away from them. Also, Joan. Let's talk about terms I haven't heard in ages. Joning on people.
Yeah, I know, right? That's not only St. Louis, because I did all 4 years of high school in DC. So that's not only St. Louis for the most part. Mm-hmm. That is also St. Louis around when we were coming up. Mm-hmm. I don't think nobody say that no more.
Yeah, I haven't heard Joan from nobody. Everybody's about roasting now.
I was gonna say I think that's universal. But speaking of roasting,
ding, podcast is done.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say let's go back and roast this dude for shitting in the sink real quick before we close
okay.
it.
No, that's fine.
But that was a good segue too. That was better. The thermometer popped out of the podcast. the heat thermometer popped out. Is ready. Nah, man. Anyway, bring the podcast full circle before we close out. Like I said, this was kind of a last minute. I called Pete real quick after I texted Pete and my brother earlier today about what happened. The shit happened and it wasn't even 11 a.m., y'all. Anyway, so I called Pete last minute and was like, yo, I want to do a podcast about this while it is still fresh in my brain, even though we didn't really plan to record at all today. So I had to do this. But that being said, we're going to go ahead, run through the, until I have the definite that they're going to be in the description, which they will, run through where you can find us on the socials. So if you want to follow your boy, you can go ahead, like me on Facebook. That's Superjaz, SUPERJAZ. Like the Facebook page.
Superjaz.
My guy. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Superjaz2. That's at Superjaz2. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram. That is Forever Superjaz. Forever spelled correctly. And then also, if you want to follow me on all of your streaming services where you can stream music and whatnot, I rap from time to time. Look up my EP, Too Much Free Time. Everything spelled correctly. And the debut album, My Secret Identity, will be dropping hopefully very shortly. What's up, Pete?
Hey, y'all know y'all can find me. You can obviously find me here, but you can also find me, as we mentioned earlier, at YouTube. It's feogrande. That's F-E-O Grande. Feogrande. All one word. Feogrande means baby ugly in Spanish. Also, you can find me on Twitch. I'm streaming day in 2021. 58 days so far and counting.
That's what's up.
At twitch.tv/Giotavi. That's Giotavi. My Twitter is the same as the Twitch, Giotavi, Giotavi. Why? What does that got to do with Omari or Pete or Feogrande? Don't worry about it. It's a reference.
I think the best one was when my brother Ibn on here and I said, "Hey Ibn, can they find you anywhere?" And he said, "I don't want them finding me. Leave me alone." That shit was funny as a motherfucker. All right, but yo, hopefully y'all like this episode, man. I'm pretty sure when I go back to review, edit, and upload this motherfucker, I am going to probably be dying from laughter. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it, and yeah, hopefully don't nobody shit in your sink. So all that being said, tune in next time. What we gonna talk about next time, Pete?
Whatever we want. Adios.